Hey guys, I just got finished teaching a really fun yoga class and now I'm gonna make brunch. This morning I'm making one of my favorites, scrambled tofu. You guys who hate tofu, too bad. We love it and it's really good when you do it right. So I'm just gonna do it with you. They said it's supposed to rain today. I don't know if it will or not. I didn't really care. It's a day of cooking for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this green pepper that's seen better days and I'm gonna take off the nasty bits and seed it. When I make scrambled tofu, I like it to have a kind of a southwestern feel, taste, whatever. And we like that kind of stuff. So this side of the pepper is not happy. So instead of trying to trim it, I'm just gonna get rid of it and keep the good parts. All this is gonna go in the compost, so it's not really wasted. And I'm just gonna dice the pepper. I'm not a professional chef, so, you know, my knife skills have gotten better over the years, but I'm certainly not pro quality here. And I used to have a lot of trouble with digesting tofu. So for years I avoided it because it just didn't sit well with me. And I've heard of some other people who've had this issue as well. And then I discovered the bridge tofu. It's made right here in Connecticut. They've been making it for, geez, a long time, back to the Michio Kushi days of macrobiotics. What was that? In the 60s, 70s? Probably the 60s, maybe even earlier than that. Anyway, and they use, the soybeans they use are from a farm in upstate New York. They've been buying them from the same farm since the beginning. You know, soybeans are organically grown, and the bridge uses the old method of tofu making, which is kind of a long process, and it seems to make a difference. I mean, I could probably eat some other brands now once in a while, but why when I can get the best? Not all supermarkets carry it. As a matter of fact, quite a few don't. But our little market in Bantam does carry it, at least once in a while. And most local health food stores do. What do you call it? The one in Woodbury. New Morning. Jeez. They carry it usually. And we're gonna dice up a medium-sized onion for this. Scrambled tofu. First time I tried to make scrambled tofu, oh my God. It was edible, but I wouldn't exactly call it delicious. No, I wouldn't call it that at all. I didn't know much about things like that. I was a new vegetarian and I was trying all these things, and my kids, bless their hearts, did their best to hang in there with me. But yeah, I had to learn the hard way. Didn't have a teacher. I mean, there were teachers around, but kind of hard to get to. So I don't know if I'm going to cut up the other half of that onion or not yet. I'm just going to put it aside, and I'm going to get this stuff going. A little olive oil. And I have to light my stove with a match because there's something wrong with the autopilot. We have to get it fixed, but not today. Alrighty, let's get that up a little. And in they go. So I was watching this video the other day of this woman who was making Indian flatbreads, and she made one with just 2 ingredients: all-purpose flour and sweet potatoes. And boy, did they look good. So that's on the list. I'm going to try that because I'm wondering if maybe that could be made gluten-free as well. Probably could. I have a recipe for gluten-free gnocchi that I want to try doing this afternoon. I'm just going to do a small batch as a taste test for us, because I have a ton of kombucha squashes that I grew, and it's a squash gnocchi. Anyway, I'm going to use those guys. If it comes out good, I'm going to make a ton of it and freeze it so that we can have gnocchi from squash that I grew. Here's the tofu. It comes in a sealed plastic package. And I'm just going to drain it while the onions and green peppers are getting going in the pan there. I'm also going to attempt, because Andy bought me 2 beautiful organic eggplants last week, and they need to be cooked, which means usually eggplant parm, but today I think I'm going to make a vegan rollatine, because I found this amazing cashew cheese recipe. I mean, there's a ton, a million zillion cashew cheese recipes out there, but this one came out so good. Let me tell you, I love cheese, but this was so good. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it today. I don't know, maybe I'll videotape that and you can tag along with me in cooking land today. So this needs some cumin. We love cumin. I put it, and it's so good with like eggy dishes. Cumin, eggs, tofu scramble. I'm trying to make this taste, well, I'm not trying to make it taste like eggs, but it's nice when it comes out really yummy and satisfying like that. I made it once when Bren was visiting friends, my stepson, and he thought he was eating eggs. He did not know the difference. So we're gonna let that cook a little bit. And you know, I'm thinking I'm gonna throw that other half of the onion in there because I can. If you hear this sort of crunching, munching sound in the background, that would be Oscar. Oscar is incessantly chewing his bone. The dogs always get a little freaked out when I have students because they just want to see them, but then they go nuts, so I can't let them. And my husband was up on the roof earlier. He's cleaning the chimney to our tula kiwi. A tula kiwi is a wood stove. It's made out of soapstone, and we got ours from Finland when we built the house. It's massive. It's awesome. And it has a bake oven in it. And in the winter, making like pizza in there is so fun. Of course, it works really well when, you know, like you have a gathering and you've got like a lot, if that's what you're doing is pizza. So I can do one pizza in my oven here, and then I can do one in there. And, you know, you make one, take it out, people start eating it, then you make a different kind, put it in. By the time they're done snacking on that one, there's another one, different kind. It's fun. And it does have that kind of wood smoke thing that you get from a wood-fired pizza oven. Right, Oscar? What do you think? Yeah? Oscar's waiting for me to drop something. Anything, please, Mom, just drop something. No. No, not today. Okay, so this is starting to look, you know, the onions are starting to get a little translucent. Sorry, these kinds of things I do not have a real recipe for, so if this is something you really want to remember how to do for the future, you can either just come back to the video, or you can write it down as you watch. Write down, you know, how much of this, that, and the other thing I'm using, or approximate, so you have it for when you want to try it, which I hope you will. Almost. We're getting there. I'm not trying to brown the onions. I do not want them to brown. Alright. I'm going to get the tofu in there because honestly, we're all starving around here. This is breakfast, brunch. So I'm breaking the tofu up, not into 2 small chunks, but, you know, just breaking it up, crumbling it. People say you have to press the water out of the tofu before you use it. Yeah, it's packed in a kind of a brine. You might want to press it, but you can see this is pretty dry. It's the bridge tofu, it's the best. I wish they would sponsor me. I would make so many bridge tofu dishes if they sponsored me. But they probably won't because I'm just a little guy. All right, so now, give that a stir. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. So now I'm going to add some turmeric for color and for its antioxidant, anti-inflammatory benefits. Yo-ho, turmeric, where are you? There you are. Again, not measuring, just sprinkling. Just going to kind of sprinkle it over the whole pot. And then I'm going to stir it again to see if it's approximately the color. It'll come out more when I add the liquid. Yes, I am adding liquid. I'm actually going to add a non-chicken based broth. There, see it? It's pretty. Okay, so in case you didn't already know this, tofu has no flavor of its own. That's what makes it good. You can add whatever flavors you want. I'm gonna let that kind of get in there. So I'm not going to add too much salt because the bouillon is salty, but I am going to add a little. And I'm adding a special kind of salt. Now I took it out of its package, so I can't show you the package. This is called Kala Namak. It's black salt. It's not really black, but it's called black salt if you look it up. And if you Google black salt, that's what would come up. As you can see, it's actually pink. It's very, very fine, almost like a powder. You can see there's some lumps. I'm actually going to pick a lump out and I'm going to break it up. So that was about, I would say, 1/4 teaspoon. What I like about this is its high sulfur content, which gives you that sort of eggy taste and smell. I'm taking another one, just about, I don't know, I guess that's about another 1/4 teaspoon. So it looks like I'm adding about 1/2 teaspoon of this. I'm not putting it away because I might want to add more. Probably not, but maybe at the end, we'll see. Okay, this is looking, now I don't know if you can tell by looking, but the tofu has gotten sort of bouncy and soft. Now it's time for the magic, the liquid magic. All right, I need This is the bouillon I use. It's called Better Than Bouillon. Again, they don't sponsor me. Maybe I should get on that. Anyway, it's Better Than Bouillon, no chicken base. Now, I don't know if it's gluten-free. I think it is. It seems to be gluten-free. That's not a big problem for us. We're not gluten-free, but some of my friends are. And so I try to figure things out for them as we go along. So I'm not using a regular measuring spoon, just a teaspoon out of my drawer. I'm going to take, that's a little more than a teaspoon. Remember, tofu has no flavor. Putting that in there, I'm going to add some water to dissolve it. So this I did actually measure. It's 1 cup. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? We canceled it. Yeah, we just decided I'd rather miss one holiday with everyone than have someone missing at the next holiday. Not that my family has any real risk people. Some of them are, but we're gonna be cool. Gonna open a Zoom meeting, leave it open all day. People can pop in and out when they feel like it. It actually might be fun. All right, that looks good. Now I'm not gonna add the whole thing at once, so I'm gonna add a little, like 1/2 cup. See how that looks to me. Oh yeah, it's gonna need a whole cup. Definitely going to need the whole cup. All right. Now I'm going to make a slurry with some cornstarch. If you don't have cornstarch, you could use arrowroot powder or kudzu root, which I think I have some. If I don't have any, I better get on it. Yes, I must get some of that in the house because I like kudzu root sometimes instead of cornstarch. It's actually, it's this great, it's a root vegetable. I don't know if you can eat it. I've never eaten it. But anyway, it's really, really good for upset stomach. If you have an upset tummy, kudzu root is really good for settling the stomach. It's a natural thickener. It grows wild in, all right, so that's a good teaspoon. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I don't have to use it all because I want this to get a little bit on the thick side. Cold water. It's about 1/4 cup of water. And again, I'm just going to add this a little at a time. Until it gets to the consistency of sort of soft scrambled eggs. You can see it's thickening up nicely. I think a little more. I'm not going to say I don't eat eggs at all anymore, but I'm getting away from them as much as I can. But when I did eat them, I loved runny scrambled eggs. So I want to recreate that. There you go. It's all going in. And what's the matter? That'll be in a minute. We're going to eat. We're done. That is done. Now, okay. I'm going to leave the salt out in case I need more. That's going away. That's going away. These guys are going away. So, sink. All right. I'm going to let that sit for a second, and then I'm going to taste it, and then I'm going to dish it up. I'm going to go find my husband because he needs to eat. Here he is. So I'm actually going to serve this with some jalapeno cheddar biscuits. They're not really cheddar biscuits, but they're jalapeno biscuits. Yeah, we're going to eat. So I'm just dishing up, honey, and we're still on.
Okay.
So where's mine? Do you want a jalapeno biscuit?
What?
Do you want tomato jam on it, or do you want butter?
Butter.
Okay.
Cold outside.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. So, I'm going to have mine with some of this tomato jam that I made. It's a spicy, savory, sweet jam.
I'll have the jam instead of the butter.
Well, you can try with one, and then you can have another one if you want.
Spicy.
Lily, you can have some later. No jalapenos for you. She might have to go out.
Cool.
Putting jam on these muffins is kind of like almost like when you have frosted cake that's got a lot of crumbs. You got to go real slow. Anyway, there's that. And dishing up. Ah. I'm using my grandmother's spoon. I love using my grandmother's and my mom's stuff when I can. Alrighty. This is really good with some hot sauce, if you're a hot sauce person. And there we are. There's breakfast. Brunch. Breakfast brunch. Oh, that's good. Really good. So I hope you guys like it. I hope you try it. If you do, let me know how it comes out. Yeah, let me know. And if you like the video, you know what to do. Thumbs up, subscribe, all of that happy stuff. Have an awesome, awesome day. It's Sunday here. Have a great Sunday if you're having a Sunday.